I think we have, since we're running short on time, we're going to go ahead and do just one question before we wrap up. And this first question is directed at Jeff Block first. And what is the one active project you have worked on at Cornell that has made the biggest impact?
So I think when we talk about biggest impact, it's hard to quantify a lot of the work that we do on the essay, just because the impact sometimes, how many people have you reached is sometimes ambiguous. The thing that was most personally impactful to me was working with the ROTC unit and combining my passions of the military and of preventing sexual assault in creating training with the ROTC units, the Air Force, Army, and Navy, that had never been done before. So we brought in key constituencies, including the Women's Resource Center, the JA, the Women's Advocate, the Victims Advocate, and the Everyone campaign, all to talk with all the ROTC units about what it's like, what are the sexual assault resources available on campus, and how can we as officers in the military help that later on. And I understand that that's kind of a small community on campus, and many of you might not interact with the ROTC units daily, but I think it talks about my passion for focusing on the communities I'm passionate about. As an at-large rep, sometimes it's really hard to know what to do because I do represent everyone, and so what I've focused on are the communities that I'm involved in and making them better, and I think I've been very successful at that.
Same question. Okay, so as a freshman, I started coffee hour with my friend Dave, and it's been really,
Oh no, sorry.
And it's just been really successful because now we have like 150 to 200 members come in every week, and what it does, now that I'm the president, is like revamp the whole system of like freshmen and transfers who are new on campus. I've moved 11 times. I know what it's like being thrown in a new like crazy environment, and there's so many options at Cornell that it can get really overwhelming. And what we do is we invite like the big groups on campus, like the Daily Sun, Slope Media, and all sorts of like the Red Carpet Society come, and they kind of share what their group's all about, and we help these new students get on their way, and it's kind of like a whole process. We get new people every week, and I think that the Cornell campus, like I said, it's 14,000 undergrad, and I think that was really significant in impacting people on campus.
Okay, and then just a follow-up question. We sort of talked about what you guys did in the past. What is the issue that you would prioritize as if you were elected to the SA? Starting with.
Okay, I think that student health, as in mental health and just kind of security on campus, is really important, because starting off in engineering, it was great. I loved it, but I like the hotel school more. It was just really stressful for a lot of people, and I think that a lot of students need to get the bigger idea of what's out there in the world, that grades aren't all that matters, but just implementing resources for students so that in case they do get stressed, they have just knowing that there are other students out there going through the same thing. Just kind of implementing that kind of improvement would be really helpful in terms of making Cornell better recognized by other students who are choosing colleges that were not super stressful all the time. So.
Yeah, I mean, what I really want to do next year is first off continue the work I've done both in working with sexual assault survivors and in the mental health community. But the other thing that I really want to focus on is student group funding. The essay should seek to empower other students to provide change within their communities that they're involved in. And yet continually we've seen again and again student groups not get funding because we make a complicated, convoluted system. I mean, look at the fact that right now women's hockey, club hockey, isn't going to get funding because the SAFC system is difficult. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. What we need to do is create a funding system that ensures that people get the funding they deserve, and we also need to work on our byline funding groups, because for a long time the Appropriations Committee has continued as this insular group that's deciding huge decisions on how student groups are funded. And so what we need to do is create better guidelines for what we're funding, especially when it comes to things like food, which we regulate significantly in the SAFC, but in the Appropriations Committee it's kind of a free-for-all. We don't give any guidelines for how you're supposed to spend your money. So empowering groups to make decisions through proper funding is going to be something that I'm passionate about and working on next year.
And you guys get 30 seconds each to close, and we'll start.
Okay, thanks so much for staying all the way, guys. I just feel like as a junior, I've gone through a lot at Cornell, and I just really want to give back to the campus. And I know that the Student Assembly is a really big deal, and they have a lot to teach me. But I pick up really quick with new things, and also I feel like I'm a really friendly person. And as an undesignated at-large candidate, I'd be totally approachable for any students to come talk to me, and I would gladly voice their opinions. And I like to get things done. I'm really unconventional with my strategy and approach, but hopefully you guys enjoy hearing a little bit more about myself, so thank you.
We've heard a lot amount of talk about outreaching to communities, but the way that the SA most effectively outreaches is by actually getting projects done. And if you look at my past record on the last 3 years in this assembly, I have accomplished the goals that I've set out. Some of them have been small. It really annoyed me that the high rise and low rise didn't have soap, so I just got it done. And I worked with the facilities manager to do it. I've worked on more important tasks. I worked with Gannett to completely redo their website for sexual assault survivors, and I'm currently working on mental health initiatives. I've been very successful in the initiatives that I've worked on, and I'm very passionate about this assembly. We need an assembly that's going to focus on results, and I hope you'll be elected.